With all the talk of presidential travels, that tune, North to Alaska, has sort of been stuck in my head. Mike Phillips wrote that song, which became a huge hit in 1960 after Johnny Horton recorded it. Seems like a fitting backdrop for our look back at presidential visits.
Way up north to Alaska, way up north to Alaska.
This mountain still looks like it did in 1923. When President Warren Harding made a stop here in Talkeetna on a railroad trip back from Fairbanks. He stopped here at the Fairview Inn, the first president to visit the territory.
He probably had a good time here, you would think.
Well, if he had a few drinks, he probably did have a good time here.
The Fairview Inn was brand new, considered pretty fancy for Alaska. History is rife with speculation that something Harding ate here caused his death, but the facts don't bear that out.
He didn't start suffering stomach pains until 3 days after they left Seward, heading toward Seattle.
So, what killed Harding? Probably a heart attack.
He had extremely high blood pressure, and he had an enlarged heart.
But Harding did at least have a real Alaskan adventure in his final days, starting with his cruise from Seattle. Touring Mendenhall Glacier, he not only drove a railroad car, but also a golden spike into tracks in Nenana, not to mention a huge welcome in Ketchikan.
It was kind of a big deal to have a president of the United States come to Alaska at that time.
It's always been a big deal when a president visits.
Go north to Rush's home. North to Alaska, go north to Rush's home.
Even Lyndon Johnson's refueling stop at Elmendorf in 1966 generated excitement.
He was on American soil for the first time in 17 days. His 28,000-mile odyssey through Southeast Asia was over.
Richard Nixon made history in Alaska when he met with Emperor Hirohito at Elmendorf, the first meeting between a president and a Japanese emperor. The rush was on for Alaska's liquid gold in 1975 when President Gerald Ford inspected the Trans-Alaska Pipeline.
When the pipeline is completed, oil tax revenues will greatly benefit all the citizens of Alaska and stimulate your entire economy.
There was Ronald Reagan's visit with Pope John Paul in Fairbanks, one in which the community put politics aside and rallied behind the two legends in leadership.
Makes my heart feel warm, just to know that such wonderful things happened in our beautiful state.
And a quirky state, too.
Hey, Stubbs!
Warren Harding is not the politician tourists in Talkeetna are interested in. That distinction goes to the town's honorary Mayor Stubbs.
It's nice to meet you, Mayor Stubbs. Can I shake a hand, shake your paw?
Way up north.
Well, even at 18 years old, Mayor Stubbs is still a pretty cool cat. And while we were in Talkeetna, we saw him wander in and out of the Fairview Inn.